Hey there, thanks for joining us for our final daily lectionary reading for 2021 because it is Friday, December 31st. What do we have today? We've got Psalm 147 at 12 to 20. And let me double check. 1, 2, 3. This is the third day. I will read that out of the Holman Christian Standard Version, which I'm liking for its poetry. Then I've got 1 Kings 3, 5 to 14, and for our New Testament, John 8, 12 to 19. So, Psalm 147 from the Holy Holman Christian Standard Bible, we're doing verses 12 to 20. Exalt the Lord, Jerusalem, praise your God, Zion, for he strengthens the bars of your gates and blesses your children within you. He endows your territory with prosperity. He satisfies you with the finest wheat. He sends his command throughout the earth. His word runs swiftly. He spreads snow like wool. He scatters frost like ashes. He throws his hailstones like crumbs. Who can withstand his cold? He sends his word and melts them. He unleashes his winds and the waters flow. He declares his word to Jacob, his statutes and judgments to Israel. He has not done this for any nation. They do not know his judgments. Hallelujah. All right. 1 Kings 3, 5 to 14. At Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night. God said, "Ask what I should give you." And Solomon said, "You have shown great and steadfast love to your servant, my father David, because he walked before you in faithfulness and righteousness and in uprightness of heart towards you, and you have kept for him this great and steadfast love, and have given him a son to sit on his throne today. And now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king in place of my father David, although I am only a little child. I do not know how to go out or come in. And your servant is in the midst of the people whom you have chosen, a great people, so numerous they cannot be numbered or counted. Give your servant, therefore, an understanding mind to govern your people, able to discern between good and evil, for who can govern this your great people?" And it pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this. God said to him, "Because you have asked this, and have not asked for yourself long life, or riches, or for the life of your enemies, but have asked for yourself understanding to discern what is right, I now do according to your word. Indeed, I give you a wise and discerning mind. No one like you has been before you, and no one like you shall arise after you. I give you also what you have not asked, both riches and honor all your life. No other king shall compare with you. If you will walk in my ways, keeping my statutes and my commandments, as your father David walked, I will lengthen your life." A couple things here that jumped out at me. We've got he says he was a child. He was probably late teens, uh, 17, 18, 19, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe 20. He was young still. Memory fails me on how old they think he was. So somebody's probably going to look it up and then correct me, but that's okay. So he's saying, "I'm only a little child. I'm very young. I do not know how to go out or come in." And that seemed like a strange phrase. It's kind of a euphemism, an expression for leading militarily. To go out on a campaign and to come back in having won or lost the battle. So he's admitting his innocence, his naivete, his lack of experience. And that does show some wisdom, doesn't it? To know that you don't know. All right, John 8, 12 to 19. Jesus, light of the world. And again, Jesus spoke to them, saying, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." And then the Pharisees said to him, You are testifying on your own behalf. Your testimony is not valid. And Jesus answered, even if I testify on my own behalf, my testimony is valid because I know where I've come from and where I'm going. But you do not know where I come from or where I'm going. You judge by human standards. I judge no one. Yet, even if I do judge, my judgment is valid, for it is not I alone who judge, but I and the Father who sent me. In your law, it is written that the testimony of two witnesses is valid. I testify on my own behalf, and the Father who sent me testifies on my behalf. And then they said to him, where's your Father? And Jesus answered, you know neither me nor my Father. If you knew me, you would know my Father also. Yeah, occasionally Jesus gets pretty confrontational with the Pharisees. It is their rigidness and their inability to see. Jesus is bringing a new way of looking at God in the scriptures and what is needed for righteousness, what is needed to be reconciled with God, to be made right with God. That's what they mean by righteous. It's to be made right with God, to be justified. It's not a justification as we think I was justified in doing that act. It's justification. Think of word processing, guys. Justify something, left justification, it's all aligned to the left. Or center justification is all centered. To be justified with God is to be put in line with God, with God's will. That's what it means to be. But yeah, Jesus gets confrontational with the Pharisees sometimes. And we give the Pharisees a bad rap. They, as their culture, as Jewish culture, understood the relationship with God and the requirements of that relationship. They were looked at as pillars of society. They were the people who were doing it right. Their problem was they had a slavish adherence to the rules to the detriment of the people. That's the big conflict with Jesus. Um, the whole healing on the Sabbath. The Pharisees would let someone go and suffer on a Sabbath rather than heal them and do work. So this is the kind of root of this conflict with the Pharisees is their slavish adherence to the law and their refusal to see Christ for what he is and to see the validity of his interpretation. They kept questioning his authority. That's what I got for you today. We're at 8 minutes. It's time to let you go. It's New Year's Eve. Be responsible. I'll see you guys later. Happy New Year.